Hey, today I'm going to demonstrate Actively Learn. Actively Learn is a really impressive interactive website for students to really get engaged in text. And as you can see here, I've got a workspace and I've got a lesson created already. I took this lesson from the library. I took this reading from the library. And it's got a huge catalog right here of reading passages that you can choose from, and they're separated by subject and those kinds of things. But you can also upload your own. You can upload 3 articles for free a month. Now beyond that you have to pay, but I've found that the free version of this is pretty robust, and there's lots of things you can do with it. So I'm going to demonstrate a lesson that I've created, and then I'm going to demonstrate how to push that out to Google Classroom. So here's the lesson I've created. This is I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King, and the reading purpose for students is to look at his figurative language. King uses a lot of figurative language that sometimes is difficult for students to understand, and so I want them to really look at that. So that's their reading purpose for this. So what I've done here is after they've read the first 3 paragraphs, I want them to have a discussion about the figurative language that he's using so far. And so what I did was I highlighted this and then added a discussion question. And this is the discussion question I highlighted. King deliberately chooses to use figurative language. Pick an example from the first 3 paragraphs and explain how it enhances his message. And so students are going to be able to add to each other's comments throughout the side, which I'll demonstrate later. And then as they read through, I want the students to stop after these next 2 paragraphs and answer a question on their own, one that they're not going to be able to see other students' answers for. And so I went ahead and I highlighted this word right here, and then I went to insert question. And once I do that, it looks something like this. And so I can add standards, I can do short answer, multiple choice, or a poll. I can put the question here. There are options for media and other things over here. And so right here, I want them to specifically look at the metaphor for cashing a check and using textual evidence to back up their claim. So what this is going to do when the students go through this, it's going to stop them, and they're not going to be able to move on in the reading until they answer the question. And so I did this throughout the text. And then when I was finished, I saved the lesson. And then I'm going to assign the lesson. So one of the coolest features of Actively Learn is it automatically imports your Google Classrooms and the students that come with them. So you can click this Add New Class and import courses from Google Classroom, and it will import the courses and the students who are in those courses so that you don't have to set that up again, which I think is really nice. So I've already done that. So I've got this test class here, and you can see my student in here. So I'm going to actually assign that to them. So now I'm going to assign this to that class that I have in Google Classroom. So I'm going to click Assign, and then I'm going to click the check mark for the one I want to use and click Next. And then I'm going to click on Test Class, because that's who I want to assign it to, and hit Assign. And now I have to send it to Google Classroom. So I'm going to click on the Share with Google Classroom link right here. And it's going to open up Google Classroom. And I'm going to pick the class I want it to go to. And then I want to make an assignment. And so it sets up the traditional assignment option. And so just going to put in some extra information and assign it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as a student and show you what it looks like from the student perspective. So now I'm logged in as a student, and you can see that I've received my I Have a Dream address assignment. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to click on Actively Learn. And it's going to show you that the student, it just goes ahead and they are going to use Google to log in, and there they go. And now they're here. So now, here we go. So here's something I need to reply to, so I click on it and I enter a reply. And then as students reply, I'll be able to see their replies right here as a student. So that's an example of a discussion. And then as you can see, I need to read these 2 paragraphs and oh, well, I have to answer this question. And so I have to answer it and submit it before I can move on. So now that I'm at the end of this as a student, I'm going to go ahead and come over here and just mark it as done so that the teacher knows that I've done it. And now I'm going to log in as the teacher so you can see it from the teacher perspective. So now I'm back in the teacher view and I'm ready to go ahead and look at what my students have said about the questions. So I'm going to click on it. And now you can see that the questions have come up. And I can look, this is question 1 right here. So I can look at them as all students, or I can look at each student individually and see what they've said on all 3 of these things, or I can just grade by question. I can use a rubric here and then add a comment. And then that's how I can see what's happened with this. I can also look at the discussion by clicking on the notes up here. And then I can look through here and look at the discussion that way. So then as a teacher, you can go back into Classroom and give students an individual grade on it. But it works really seamlessly with Google Classroom, which I think is excellent. Thanks for watching today, and have a great day.